Hey, welcome to the May selections of the Wine of the Month Club, Ed. And just for the sake of all our friends out there in wonderful wine land, what were the selections from May of 1979?
San Martin soft Chenin Blanc. An interesting term, soft.
What does that mean?
Well, it means it was sweet. Okay, that's what
Oh.
it means. It was softer. It didn't have the sharp edges of acidity, that kind of nonsense. And the Villa Colcina 74 Chianti Classico Reserva.
Colchinaya,
Whatever. But it was a Reserva.
a Reserva in the Classic Series.
In a Classic Series, which was like $7 or
A
something.
Reserva is like, 20 months in oak minimum or something?
No, it's not that much, but it's in wood. It doesn't have to be necessarily oak.
wood.
Yeah,
Of course, that was back in the day when you could put all kinds of stuff in Chianti as well.
Well, no, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, you couldn't. You had to put in at least two whites.
Right, they had whites back then.
Yeah.
Those are no longer part of the formula.
No, they're not, and that was a smart move because they weren't being done anyway. So it's like, I went to tastings where I go, "There's no white grapes in there." They go, "No, there isn't."
Yeah, typically.
But that's those are the Italians.
1979, Ed. That was a long time ago. In fact, let's see. I probably wasn't working in the store then because I would have been at school.
I wasn't working in the store then either.
No.
I was working in my printing company, printing stuff for your dad, as a matter of fact.
Oh, so you're responsible for that.
Yeah, some of it. Anyway, here it is, May Classic Series. Great lineup, really, an absolutely
really special
amazing lineup of wines this time. Starting with this Bianchi Zinfandel, which it's funny you get these preconceived notions. I mean, Bianchi was a bulk wine producer. I mean, they made 4-liter jugs of wine or 1 gallon jugs back
Well, you
then.
tell that to Bo when you go up to his winery in Paso and you stay in his guest quarters, 4-bedroom house.
Well,
right outside the tasting room.
But now, of course, they decided they wanted to step up, so they built this place in Paso. They're getting grapes from they've got vineyards all over the state, and the wines are phenomenal. They've always been good, always. I mean, they just make really good wines. They're just not very expensive.
They're all classic Paso wines, but he was reluctant. Because you see the front line are the the retail price is wine is $20. That's what he sells it for at the winery, and we've got it for $12.48 and more for $8.99. When I called him, I said, "But what do you got?" Because actually I'm working with him on another project, and I'm like, "What do you got? I need some red wine, domestic." He's like, "Oh, I got some Zin," and he sent it, and I go, "That's really good,
Delicious, absolutely." That's a stupid price.
Yeah,
$8.99.
And then he's like, "Oh, I don't know, man." I said, "Well, whatever. It's up to you." I go, "My customers are waiting for you." So he goes, okay, fine.
I don't know that I would say this is classic Paso because it's got some nice tannins to it. It's got some good acidity. It's not overly ripe. I mean, it's just perfect. I mean, it's a ripe wine.
But it has that big middle, though.
It does have that big middle.
Yeah. But it sure has a long finish, that's for sure.
Amazing.
Just hanging on. Just hanging on.
You see, I'm working on my big middle.
Hanging on. Hanging on it. I don't know. It's
I'm 97 here.
yeah, I go 96. I'm not a huge Zin fan, I think, really, but certainly a well extracted.
You're still young and impressionable. We have to take that into consideration.
What's the alcohol in that?
It's funny you should ask because I was looking for it and I couldn't find it quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 15 and a half.
That's just because it's
Look,
Paso Zin.
I know, but you can't. It doesn't make any difference where it comes from now.
It's okay. That goes to that conversation we had with Molly Hill.
Yeah.
I still understand where the essence of the idea a wine might be natural if it has less than 12% alcohol, 12.5. I don't understand it. This is a natural wine. I mean, by all definitions, it was grown in soil, and it was grapes, and it was,
There is no definition of natural wine.
I know,
it's just a
but
term.
why would somebody present the idea that natural wine means less than 12.5%?
Because they need something to set them apart, and stupidity may be one of them. Okay?
Well, that explains it.
Oh, that's the number one question I get when I teach classes. What is a natural wine? How do we get natural wine? I don't know.
We are starting, folks, next week, the Pure Wine Club, the purest wines on earth. It's going to be a combination of sustainable, biodynamic, and organic wines coming out soon. And there'll be a separate webpage for it. It's really, really a lot of fun to find the wines. Not that anything else is unnatural or natural about it, but they will have to adhere to the 3 standards at least. So this is I forgot how good this was.
This is delicious. This
They
is
call it
absolute-
naked Chardonnay.
This
What is
is
it,
really,
unoaked? Is
really.
it unoaked?
No, I'm sure it's not oaked. Yeah, which is why it tastes so damn good. It's delicious.
White peach for sure, apricot, yeah. that's what-
And a little green apple. I
it's
mean,
all
you know,
stone
that's
fruit.
all. That's all
that
the
green apple at the end of the nose.
That's
yeah.
right. That's all the good components you get in unoaked Chardonnay.
really
I mean,
delicious.
you know, it's just fabulous. I'm at a 97 on this too. I love this. I mean, I could actually drink this on purpose. You know, not just because I'm
Because of the
here.
club. 4 Vines Wine Gratin. Huh. I forgot all about it. It's delicious. I'll go 96.
Okay.
I think it's. I had a customer call. They wanted the oakiest stuff they could find.
Just tell them to get a toothpick and put it in their wine.
I
you
told
know?
them
You want to do another white so we go back and forth?
we're supposed to.
No, we're doing a red now.
Right.
Now this one blew me away because I'm looking at it. I'm going, how do you sell a Pinot Noir
From Willamette Valley.
from Willamette Valley
very expensive.
for nothing? I mean, literally nothing. $8.99 is nothing.
2016 Rhea, $25.99 on the shelf. I just tasted with the winemaker Resonance, which is the Louis Jadot property up there, and you know their wines are $45 minimum.
Easy.
And here it is at $8.99.
Look at the legs on this thing. I mean, this has got some serious, you know, extraction going on. Really dense nose. I
Yeah,
mean,
a
you
little
really
toast on the nose. But Willamette Valley, that's one of the things I remember. Is what I liked about it because. Okay, so let me ask you this question: if you think this is accurate or not, because it hit me the other day while I was interviewing Guam Lage of Resonance, and that is, we used to say a lot of times in the older days, you taste the Pinot Noir from wherever in California, you go, that's Burgundian. Burgundian.
because they never tasted Burgundy. That's
Right.
why.
We used to say that though, right?
It's-
We no
yeah.
longer, which is interesting to me, that we no longer reference Burgundy when we taste Pinots. We reference now where they're from. What does it make sense for Willamette Valley, which I think this does?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it make sense for Russian River? Does it make sense for Santa Rita Hills?
But that's the only way you can evaluate a wine. You can't evaluate a wine from a different region because it's the same grape. It's ridiculous. They can't be the same wine. They're made.
Right.
They're different regions, different soil, different climate, and different winemaking. You know, I mean, you're absolutely accurate. You have to evaluate it based on what it is and where it comes from.
Right. But we used to say that. You used to go to a tasting, it's very Burgundian. Well, we're not trying to be, the point I'm making is, in the last 20 years, we moved away from trying to be something else or feel like something else into the actual terroir and the actual character and the passion of the grape from where it's from, not just.
Well, yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. And the reason for that is the fact that people are influenced by what's been done in Europe for literally hundreds of years. You know, they classify most of the wines from Europe from the place that it comes from, not what the grape is. The grape is a default setting. So, you know, if it's Burgundy, it's Pinot Noir. It can't be anything else, or you can't call it Burgundy. You know, I mean, that's how it's played. And in Bordeaux, you get your option of 5 grapes, period, the end, and this piece of soil. That's it, because they've been doing this so long. They know what they're doing.
That's
you
it.
know? And then they go to Italy, where it changes all the time because they don't know what they're doing.
This is
But
very
it's fine.
Burgundian.
I should have expected that.
But you know, I love the nose. It's starting to really change, like
Well,
dark
see, now
cherries.
here's the thing you got to understand about this wine. This is not a wine for impatient people. You really need to open this wine, I'd say, a couple of hours before, because it's already starting to change in the glass. It's very high and tight and tart in the mouth, but little by little it softens up and you start to get the fruit. I mean, it's perfect. It's
You're
not,
getting intense black cherry.
it's not Burgundian, though. I'm sorry.
It is not Burgundian. It is $8.99.
That's ridiculous. That's another stupid price.
We got to start the ridiculous price club.
It's called the Wine of the Month Club. I already got it. Now,
I'm sure you've listened to the podcast. Hey, folks, Wine Talks with Paul Kalemkiarian. You'll see Ed there, too, a couple times. Had some really interesting conversations. We just released the John Sally NBA star one, which is really funny. What a funny guy. So check it out, because it's on iTunes and it's on Spotify, Stitcher, Libsyn, and a couple other places. So this, okay. A to Z, big winery.
Big winery,
right?
big winery. Big name winery.
A couple other brands they have, too, right?
Well, no. They also own another winery, but the people that started this winery came from really big deal wineries like Chenin, which is one of the best wineries in Oregon, you know, and Irie.
That's so
you know,
good.
I mean, this stuff is amazing.
So it's this video is online as well. Forgot her first name. Had a great conversation with her, but we went to New York, and Lisa, my daughter, who fancies herself as, you know, a farm to table foodie type and works in the industry, there's a little local sort of, you know, comfort food restaurant near her apartment, and we went, and I saw A to Z. I think it was the Pinot Gris or the Pinot Noir, but it's on a tap.
Oh yeah, those are getting to be very popular.
So Sandra goes, "Get me a glass of wine." I go, "Oh, I just interviewed this young lady. She's very interesting wines. I thought they were very good. Let's get this." It was undrinkable, and I couldn't tell because what they put in the 5-gallon, you know, keg
Right.
isn't the same stuff they put in the bottle, or it just doesn't last as long in the keg as it would in a bottle.
Well, the whole point is it should, because it's
all gas,
It's gassed. Right? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's.
But I sent it back.
Well, I would too. I mean, the problem with those machines is that you have to clean them regularly, and if you don't, then you can get into a lot of trouble. All right,
That makes sense.
you know, and well, it's the same thing with you know, tap beers. You got, except that because of the fact that it's under pressure, you know, with the CO2, you know, that really helps to flush it out faster, and so you don't have the residual in the lines as much. You know, but anyway.
Well, we never did the fraternity house. We drank whatever came out of there.
I understand that, yeah, and you're paying for it now. Anyway, $18.99 on the shelf, $7.99 a reorder priced here, and I'm at a 95.
I'm a 97. Now, what was the? Gosh,
And the Rhea,
their
I'm at a
main
95
brand,
too.
Their main brand isn't A to Z.
No. It's no. Well,
It's another brand.
yeah, it's
really
another
good.
brand. You're right. I don't know. You have to read the newsletter to find out.
Right.
We'll have a contest.
That's the classic series from May of 2019, folks.
And away we go.